Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to a more familiar setup. I have not filmed with this camera, my big professional camera, for months and months. I'm always on my vlogging camera and I love the relaxed vibe, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give this baby a test drive and give it a go again, and I'm hoping that you're enjoying it. The quality is so much better, but it is a bit of a faff, but I hope you enjoyed it. So today I thought we would do a sit down video because Andrew is off, so I have an opportunity to sit down and record a couple of videos, which is so nice. And I wanted to share with you guys my top 20 foods that I ate on WW. I get asked so many questions like, what did you snack on? What's great to eat? What can I buy? What should I put on my grocery list? What should I pick up? What is going to give me the results I want to see, but nourish me and give me a really positive experience where I'm not going hungry? And there are definitely loads that I wanted to share when it comes to this. So these are not going to be things like ready meals, convenience meals, things like that. These are going to be more things that I ate and I cooked with, that I introduced into my diet on a regular basis, that gave me not only a really successful weight loss story, but also nourished me, excited me, and just, again, made me fall in love with cooking and eating again. So I wanted to share them with you, and this is in no particular order, but these 20 things, if you adopt them into your lifestyle as much as you can, I feel like that they're going to be really fantastic choices for you guys, and also very realistic as well. You want to be realistic in your expectations. I always say this. So I'm going to get started with my number one tip, and that is skinless chicken breast. Now it's worth noting I am on the blue plan, which was freestyle before it changed on my WW. If you're not too familiar what I'm talking about, they did this whole revamp, and basically now you can follow the plan in one of three colours: green, blue, purple. I'm a blue, which is basically freestyle, nothing's changed. So these may be a tiny bit geared, but I feel like no matter which plan you're on, these are all going to be point friendly, if not 0 point foods. So the first one is skinless chicken breast. Really fantastic to do a ton of things with: curries, seasoned chicken, wraps, there are just casseroles. There are just so many things that you can do with the skinless chicken breast. It's definitely number one. Number two is eggs. Oh my goodness guys, what a zero hero. You have seen me eat an egg and a half, that is for sure. I love eggs. I've always loved eggs, and I have them in so many different things. Not only do I bake with them a lot, but I love them scrambled, I love omelettes, I love them fried, although I'm not a mad fan of yolk, weirdly enough, unless it's mixed in. Boiled, egg salad, egg mayo. Like, there's just so many things you can do with eggs, and they're fantastic for protein, they're fantastic for bulking meals up, and I just really enjoy them. Now back in the day, eggs used to be 2 points each, but they're now of course zero heroes across all three plans, I believe. So that's just fantastic. I know a lot of people bang on about egg whites that you can get in a carton, but I feel like if eggs are free, just have the whole egg. Like, it's totally worth it. It'll sustain you for longer, and you know, I'm just a big fan. The next one is flatbread, and more specifically the Tesco or Aldi flatbreads. Now these come in at around 3 points each, which I think is fantastic considering you can pay a lot for bread these days, no matter which plan you're on. And I really like them. Not only do I think they're a great side dish, but you can do a ton with them. You can stuff them, you can use them as dipping in curries and ragu sauces, things like that. So they're a really fantastic one. I use one of two at the moment, so I used a 3.1 when I was losing weight, Aldi, again Tesco pita breads, but now I've kind of moved and transitioned onto deli kitchen flatbreads, which are 5 each, which are a little bit more than I would normally pay when I was losing, but now I'm on maintenance. I'm more than happy to spend that, and they are so fluffy and flavourful. You guys have seen me eat them a ton in what I eat in a day, and I forever am being asked about them. Either one of these two are going to be very friendly to you, and especially if you're on maintenance, the 5 ones are definitely ones to look out for. But even if not, I mean, just factor them in. 5 points, they are totally worth it. The next one is lean steak mince. This can be beef or pork, as long as it's as lean as possible. You can do so much with steak mince, and if you're not a meat eater, you can switch this up for lentils, chickpeas to thicken up a sauce, but you could do so much with it. Meatballs, spaghetti bolognese, lasagna, shepherd's pie, casseroles, anything, magluba, biryani. There are so many things, homemade burgers. There is just so much that you can do with them. And again, if you're using your own ingredients to make things like meatballs, like homemade burgers, like pizzas, like stuffed flatbread or stuffed peppers, things like that, you know exactly what's gone into them, and 9 times out of 10 they'll be much healthier and much more reasonable when it comes to point value. So mince when it comes to steak, pork. Lamb is a bit fatty, I'm not gonna lie. Like if I was losing weight, I would stay away from lamb, but I do eat a lot of lamb now on maintenance, but back in the day I wouldn't really gravitate towards lamb. But of course steak mince, lean steak mince and pork, turkey mince even, is a great combination. The next one I wanted to talk about is a pasta substitute. So I used to eat a lot of courgette. And now I eat a bit of pasta as and when I want it. I've actually gone to a different kind of pasta, which I'll talk to you about later on. But courgette is fantastic because the texture is quite similar to pasta. You get quite full up, but of course it's courgette. One of your 5 a day, really good for you, keeps you regular as well. So I'm a big fan of courgette. I really like it. I love courgette roasted. I love it in a lot of different things, and curries and everything like that. But courgette was one that I reached for a lot, and I really did enjoy it. The next one, and this is such a cupboard staple for me. Again, you can do so much with it, from curries to sauces to just soups to everything. Like, it's so handy. And that's chopped tomato or cartons of passata. And again, that is perfect for making things from scratch. You could pick up a Lloyd Grossman jar of curry, of course you could, but you'll probably spend about 6 to 8 points for it per serving. Whereas if you made a sauce yourself, if you made it from scratch, you're looking at 2 to 3 points, and it's so much better for you. You know exactly what's gone into it. And if you're looking for cooking inspo and how to get things made from start to finish, you could always check out my What I Eat Todays. I always put my recipes in the description box of my videos, and you'll notice that passata and chopped tomatoes I use a lot, guys. Like, I've always got it in my cupboard. Again, curries, ragu sauces, bologneses, lasagnas, enchiladas. Like, there's just so much you can do with them. Soups, stews, you just need them in your life. So yeah, definitely chopped tomatoes and passata. The next one is fat-free Greek yogurt. I use this again for so many different things. Marinating, things like shawarma, things like saksuki, curries. You guys know I make a lot from scratch, so I'm cooking a lot, but I also use yogurt a lot in my baking as well, because it's a nice tanginess, gives a nice richness to sponges, a nice richness to buttercream. So I would definitely say a fridge staple has to be fat-free Greek yogurt, and that's whether you're having it in the morning with berries or oats or whatever, or again you're using it to whip up a nice madras or a nice korma or a nice whatever. Fat-free Greek yogurt is going to be a real good friend to you, so I would definitely invest in some of that. The next one is switching up your cheese. So I love cheese, and cheese is something that if I'm going to have it, I'm going to have a decent amount of it because I love it. So for me, it wasn't worth keeping the full fat version. There are some things in my cupboard where I think I want the full fat, I'm happy to pay for it, but when it comes to cheese, the Cathedral City or the Aldi version of mature light cheddar is just as delicious. So I would definitely consider switching up your cheddar, especially like me, if you're a cheese fiend. It's going to be a fantastic alternative for you. And the next one is almond milk. So almond milk is delicious. Like, I don't really get anyone that doesn't like almond milk or almonds at all. Like, I love the taste of it. I love oat milk as well. So for me, it was a very easy, very organic, very easy switch to make. But yeah, I've definitely switched up. If not, I use lactose-free semi-skimmed, which you'll have seen a lot in my What I Eat Todays. But that's because my husband is lactose intolerant, so we do have a lot of that in the house. But when I'm just making something for myself, I've looked for almond milk, and it's just a great alternative. It's so much lesser in regards to point value. You can have pretty much a full glass of almond milk before you've taken up the points of semi-skimmed. I don't even want to think about full fat. So just have a think about switching things up like that. Especially if you're a tea and coffee drinker and you have a few throughout the day, because these all add up. The next one is porridge. So porridge is a fantastic thing to be eating, especially to start your day. I find that the better you eat for your breakfast, lunch and dinner, the more likely you are to have a sustainable weight loss, and an actual more realistic one as well. Because if you're skipping on meals and you're not fulfilling yourself and you're not nourishing yourself enough, you're going to snack and you're going to binge eat and you're going to opt for things that give you that instant fix that you need because you've been depriving yourself. So start the day well. Start it with fruit, berries, yogurt, oats. One of the favourites that I have is ready bread. I get asked about the oats that I have a lot. I just find them less stodgy. I find them to sit better on my stomach, so I don't like thick, dry oats. I like really light and creamy oats, which is why I use children's ones. But yeah, definitely some kind of porridge. The next one is a butternut squash. You will always find a butternut squash rolling around my kitchen somewhere, and that is because I love them roasted, I love them in soups, I love them in puree, I love them chopped up in curries, I love them in stews. I just use them for so much. They're really fantastic for bulking up a dish, but also even chopped very, very finely with some paprika, salt and pepper, olive oil. You can make some really lovely roasted side dishes with them as well. So butternut squash is something that you will always find in my kitchen, along with lentils. Lentils are fantastic for thickening up any kind of sauce, especially if you're not a meat eater. So if you wanted to cook a spaghetti bolognese or a ragu, I think a great meat alternative would be lentils, because they give you that thickness, they give you that meaty texture, that taste, but obviously it's meat free. So I would definitely have a nice jar of lentils sat in your cupboard. The next one I binged on a lot was flat mushrooms. Now flat mushrooms, you can do so much with them. They're not just for chopping up and sticking in a bolognese sauce. You can stuff them, you can roast them, you can grill them, you can have them with steak as a side dish, you can have them as a meat alternative, you can blend them up, blitz them up and have burgers that taste like actual meat because it has that meaty taste of mushrooms. So many things you can do with mushrooms. Again, you can mix it with lentils, chickpeas, with garlic and olive oil and onion and create burger patties. They're just incredible. So always make sure that if you do like them, that you do have some flat mushrooms in your fridge, because they're very filling and they're great for so many different things that you may not consider having them with previously. So definitely consider those. The next one is nice lean cuts of steak. So if, like me, you like a weekend treat, you like a steak night, you like date night, having a nice cut, a sirloin cut of steak or a fillet cut of steak is going to be really friendly in regards to point values because they're quite lean. But also it feels like a nice treat, doesn't it? Steak, chips, bit of salad, bit of coleslaw. Again, it's all about being realistic and it's all about being very exciting. I'm not going to chuck loads of micro meals at you. I'm not going to chuck loads of convenience foods at you, because for me, I feel like the more you can make yourself, the better and the more your points will stretch and the more fulfilled you will be. And if you do have the time, especially now we're in lockdown, to dedicate a little bit more time in the kitchen, you will benefit from it for sure. But also it's really fun. So yeah, these are definitely more geared towards what you can do for side dishes and what you can do in regards to eating and cooking actual meals, as opposed to just go and pick up these chicken nuggets from our, Aldi or whatever. The next one I have to talk about is a fry light oil. So again, making sensible switches when it comes to Coke, switch to Coke Zero, a high full fat semi-skimmed milk, switch to perhaps almond milk, cheese, light cheese. That's the same with olive oil. Now, when I was trying to lose weight, I didn't have much olive oil, and when I did, I tracked it. Now I do, because I think it's good for me. I like it. I like the texture and silkiness that it gives, and I don't mind tracking it. But when I was being quite strict, I opted for fry light oil, and I know a lot of you guys do too. So definitely consider having a look at things like fry light oil. And also number 16 is panko breadcrumbs. So if you're like me and you love chicken nuggets, you like katsu curry, you like breaded things, then panko breadcrumbs will become your best friend, because not only are they're very authentic and that lovely Japanese texture and taste, but they're easy to point. They're on the WW app. You can weigh them out, get a cut of chicken breast, bit of flour, bit of an egg wash, and you've got a KFC. You have a fake Nando's, and you know exactly what's gone into it. It's really friendly for you. You can either shallow fry it or cook it in the oven, and it's just about getting creative again. The next one is smoked salmon. I feel like a lot of people that are on WW are going to be having a lot of smoked salmon, just because again it's very friendly in regards to point value, and I feel like there's something about smoked salmon. It's quite indulgent, isn't it? We always love it. I like it on bagels, I like it with omelette and eggs and scrambled eggs. I also like it with cream cheese. It's just really delicious. The next one is definitely more of a substitute, so something you can switch for something else, and that is cauliflower rice. Now if, like me, you love your rice, I'm such a rice bunny, I really love it. But obviously it's not that friendly in regards to point value, and you can't have much of it by the time you've taken up quite a few points. So just having that switch, obviously you'd have to like cauliflower to get on board with this, but if you do, the texture is very, very similar and it's very good for you as well. So definitely check that out. The next one, number 19, is roasted veg. Consider roasted veg as a side dish. It's so delicious. Instead of having perhaps chips or a jacket potato, just getting a really lovely tray of seasonal vegetables with some smoked paprika, salt and pepper, a good quality olive oil or fry light oil, and just giving it a nice roast is such a gorgeous accompaniment to most dishes. So do consider having roasted vegetables as a side dish. And my last one is one that I use when I make pies, when I make lasagna sauces, when I want something creamy, I don't really know. what's that creamy dish that people have with pasta? I'm not too sure, but either way, lighter creme fraiche. And again, it's just about making smarter choices, opting for the lighter version as opposed to the full fat, because again, it's much better for point value. But I also use this in things like my cheese and onion pie recipe, and also for baking as well. So definitely do check out the lighter creme fraiche and the lighter whipped cream if you do like a bit of whipped cream, or squirty cream on your hot chocolate or your coffee or your lattes. It's just about having a think. So those are my top 20 WW friendly meals and foods that I think you guys will really enjoy. I hope that you found this useful. Let me know what your fail-safes are. Let me know what we will always find in your WW kitchen, what you will cook with, what you've substituted, what you've switched up that's been really successful but also really sustained you and got you quite excited about food, because I'd love to know. Comment down below with that information, and also give this a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and subscribe if you're new. I'll link everything that I'm wearing in the description box down below. But thank you so much for hanging. Don't forget to give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!